Hello, today we are at the Mining Journal Select event in London, and I have the opportunity to speak with Luke. Luke, could you please introduce yourself and what you're doing?
Sure, thank you. I'm the CEO of Panoro Minerals. We're a copper exploration company advancing our Cotabambas project in the south of Peru. We are currently working on the pre-feasibility study, and we expect to have that completed first half of next year.
So copper is a very exciting commodity because for the energy transition that everybody's talking about and the mobility, we need a lot of copper. Do you see any additional demand from the current trend from the car manufacturers, from the industry?
Yeah, I mean, there's two fundamental trends. Let's say the first trend is the very basic increase in demand for copper as countries become more urbanized, more industrialized. And we see that very strong trend continuing in China and progressing into India and other newly developing countries. So that's kind of, let's call that the baseline trend. And added on to that trend for the demand of copper is, as you mentioned, the move towards electric vehicles, where more and more countries and states, for example, in the United States, are mandating the transition to electric vehicles away from carbon burning, carbon producing fuels. So both of those trends are coalescing together over the next number of years to significantly increase the demand for copper.
Are you in talks already with car manufacturer or industrial partners who might be interested in an offtake agreement with you?
It's a little early for us. We are currently working on the pre-feasibility study. We're also following a typical exploration model where our objective is to get our project through to pre-feasibility and bankable feasibility studies while we bring in a partner who will build and operate the mine. Once we define that roadmap, that'll be a more opportune time to perhaps look at a more downstream arrangement for the supply of copper.
Okay, so how does your balance sheet look like?
We currently have about $7 million. We have another approximately $10 million coming from an asset sale, and that's sufficient to fund all of our activities and investment required to the pre-feasibility study. We also have a contingent payment coming to us from another asset sale, and that should be sufficient to pay for our bankable feasibility study. So we're confident that with no debt and with the cash that we have and the cash coming in, that we will fund ourselves through our feasibility studies without the need for additional capital.
So this sounds all very exciting and interesting. So can you tell us a little bit more about the jurisdiction of Peru?
Sure. Peru, world's second largest producer of copper, also the world's second largest producer of zinc, and the world's second largest producer of silver. Also a major producer of gold, of tin, of lead, a major mining country where over half the country's exports come from the mining sector. More than 10% of the country's GDP comes from the mining sector, and where over the last 3 decades we've seen very significant investment into the mineral sector and with a focus on investment into the copper sector. So a very positive pro-mining jurisdiction over the last numbers of decades.
So as an investor, what can you tell me? Why should I invest now?
Very significant milestones to come. A drilling program underway. We've been reporting very excellent results, 100 to 200 meter intercepts at between 1% and 2% copper equivalent. So the drilling program is yielding very good results. That will lead to our next major milestone, which is an update on the resource estimate. We are very optimistic that there should be a significant increase in the scale of the resource. And then the other milestones to come, the principal one is the completion of the pre-feasibility study. So the drilling results and the other technical work that's underway is all indicating a significant valuation gain on the project over the next 6 to 12 months.
Good. Thank you, Luke. That sounds already promising and interesting. So thank you very much, and I wish you best of luck.
No, thank you.
Thank you.